This is Carl at National RV Detroit, and I'm going to walk you through your Flagstaff high wall tent camper model HW29SC. Alright, I'm on the door side of the trailer right now, moving towards the rear. Okay, this is the service panels for your refrigerator. That's strictly for service. The controls to operate are inside on this tent camper. This tube right here that you see, that is the tube you will store your dump hose in, because there's no bumper, not a 4-inch square bumper like a regular trailer, hard-sided trailer. So you use that, and you have scissor type stabilizers, 4 of them, 1 on each corner. You use the 3/4 inch crank or a 3/4 inch socket on a drill to operate them. This here, you can see it. I guess it's a. I guess you can see it. It's a table that can hang on this rail here that the grill hangs on. Where am I? Right there. This is just your dump hose right here, and that's right there, and that's just a reducer to reduce your plug down to from 30 down to 15 amp. All right, so obviously you have some power here. Your grill hangs right on here, and you use this quick connect fitting right here to hook up to your grill. It's off like that. You're going to turn it on obviously when you hook it to the grill. This is for water. This is in case the campground you go to does not have plumbing on the campsite. You can pre-fill your fresh water tank right here, and then pump your own water from your fresh water tank. Normally you're going to use city water. That hookup's on the other side of the trailer. I'll show you when I get over there. You also have an LED strip for your awning. Now on your awning, once you unroll it, there's a rafter, it's called, that runs the length of the awning, or I guess the width of the awning, at the outside of it, and all your poles are stored in there. So you just put them in position basically. They don't come loose, they're hinged, but you'll have a pole that goes from the rafter right up to where the corner there by the awning, and then the other one will go straight to the ground, for example. And you have that on each side. Okay, so your steps fold right into the trailer, which is a kind of a new thing. It's a really neat design though. You've got storage here, of course. You have a power winch on it, or is it a winch? I guess it's a winch. I've been saying winch too much. It's a power winch. So you're gonna raise it till this is taut. This line here, it tells you how high you need to go in order for the screen door to fit correctly. Okay? Alright, so also with your power tongue jack here, which you have a power tongue jack obviously, you can pull this plug here if it happens to fail on us. You can pull this down, or pull this out, and you can put a crank on there and crank it manually. It just takes the same 3/4 inch crank that the stabilizers do, or a 3/4 inch socket on a drill will do the same thing. You got 2 LP tanks, 2 deep cycle marine batteries wired to 12 volts, so you got double the storage capacity. All right, this is the outside of your water heater. The switch to operate it is inside. I just want to open it up so I can show you that it runs on gas, and this is where you drain it from right here. Okay, that takes 1 1/16" 6-point sockets, and you can drain it right there. It's got an anode rod attached to the drain plug. You'll see that when you take it out, but just in case you want to drain it, that's where you do it. Okay. Also, when you winterize this trailer, it's something you'll have to educate yourself a bit on, but you have to bypass the water heater so you don't get antifreeze into the system, into the hot water tank, I should say. So there's bypass valves on the back that you'll have to engage in order to keep antifreeze from getting in the tank. If it gets in there, it leaves a really bad smell and a bad taste, so you want to avoid that. Also, your air conditioner plugs in right up here, so keep that in mind. It's easier to do when the roof is down, so you got to plug it in there to get AC. That's obviously your power cord, 30 feet long, 30 amps. This is an outside shower, and this is your city water hookup that I told you about. That's the most common way to get water to the trailer. If you have city water at the campsite, you just hook your hose on there, turn it on, and you're all set. All right? That's just a coax through to the inside. If you have a TV and you have campground cable or something, you can patch it through that way. You got storage under the benches and the slide out. That's a vent, just so you know. All right, so let me get down here. There's two different dumps. This is the gray or galley tank, which is a gray tank. So that one you're going to basically hook a hose onto. It doesn't have a regular dump hose type fitting, but of course the toilet does. You're going to pull this out. I don't know if there's any water in there. He water tested it, so I better not do it till afterwards. But you would put the hose on here, and the other half goes in the dump station, and then you pull out on the gate valve, and that dumps your black tank, which is your toilet water and waste. All right. So also, let me see here what we've got. Okay. So this is a supplemental video. You'll have a manufacturer's video that comes, a hard copy comes on a DVD that comes in your packet here. Also, you can go online and play it on the Forest River Flagstaff website. So you can watch the setup video and takedown video. This is just a supplemental video for that. Okay. All right. So here we are inside. Again, setting this up and taking it down is going to be part of the main video, but we'll walk through quite a bit of it. Your radio here, obviously you can stream off USB. You can hook up with Bluetooth and stream off of it with your phone or your tablet. AM, FM radio. You got two speaker zones. Zone 1 is inside, Zone 2 is outside. So that does a lot. Your range. I don't know if he's got the gas on or not, but either way I can talk you through it. You're going to go to light, and then you turn the sparker clockwise, which it just lit right there if you could see. So that's, once again, you go like this and light it. And of course there's a knob for each burner, but when it comes to the oven, let's see what brand do we have here. Magic Chef. I better look at this so I can tell you for sure how we light this. There's two different possibilities here, so let me look. Okay, so this one sparks, which is good. Some of them you have to use a grill lighter. So what you do, you go to the oven knob, you go to the flame, which is pilot. Then you depress it and hold it in, right? So you're holding that in. Then you come over here and you spark this clockwise until the flame under here lights. You'll have to keep peeking down there to see if you lit the pilot light. Okay, once the pilot light lights, you're still holding this in, of course. You hold it for another 10 seconds or so, then you go to operating temperature. It cycles like an oven does, but when you shut it off, the flame obviously goes off, but so does the pilot light. So you have to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven. Okay? Simple enough. And always keep your cover down when you're traveling too, or it'll break. Sink works like any other. Your thermostat for your furnace is very simple. You just turn it or slide it to the right, like that. You can hear it kick on there. It'll light automatically for you. Now to shut it off, you're going to bring it all the way over to the left and then click it, like that. So you click it, and as soon as you do that, the flame goes out, but it'll still cycle through for a minute or two to purge itself, okay? The microwave works like any other microwave. While I'm standing here, you have a 3-speed vent here. You just have to remember to unlock it right there. There's a latch right there. And then you crank it up there and set the speed. Always remember to bring it down before you bring the top down on your pop-up when you're putting it away, because you'll have to put it back up in order to get to it, so don't try not to forget that. You'll probably only do it once. Your refrigerator here works on 3 energy sources. Let me just look at it to make sure. Yes. So hopefully you can see this with this camera. I'm not having the best, I'm looking at it trying to focus, and it's not really doing that good a job, I don't think. Here, let me do this and let it focus down range a bit. That seems to be a little better. Anyway, what you're going to go for is auto. Auto is right here, so the auto light is right there. Auto means there's a hierarchy, so it'll automatically search for 110 AC, and if you can't find it, or if it can't find it, I mean, it'll switch to LP gas, for example. Or if you're let's say you're at the campground and you're going away adventuring during the day and you're running on AC power and you have a power outage at the campsite, it'll automatically switch over to gas for you. That way you won't spoil your food. So that's why they call it auto, but they could call it electric. This particular one, you can see it says AC right there also, along with the auto. You can also go just to gas, light it on gas, for example. You can go to DC, which is 12 volts. So when you're pulling down the road, obviously your tow vehicle, the alternator on your truck is charging the batteries up front, and then the batteries up front are feeding this refrigerator 12 volts, so you can run it, keep it running while you're pulling it. Okay, you would do that on 12 volt. You can also pull it on LP gas, but with this system, LP gas is something you're going to use just in emergency or way out in the middle of nowhere. You're normally going to be use 110 AC when you're plugged in, or 12 volt DC when you're pulling it. Okay, so just keep that in mind. The most common configuration is that one right there, auto AC. And of course that's how you set the temperature. Alright? Okay, it's gas absorption, so you want to start it the day ahead of time if you can. Give it at least 8 hours to start, but starting it the prior day is the best way to go. Alright, so here, this is your monitor panel. You have a water pump like I told you. You can pump your own water. It turns on right there. You can check your fresh water, which is 2/3 full, but it'll be drained. Your black tank, or gray tank, your black tank, you see it graduates up in increments there. I think it's sort of pouring out there. You also can check your battery here, but always check it when you're not plugged in, alright? Hopefully I got a good picture of that. I'm preoccupied there because I got stuff sitting outside. Oh well. Oh yeah, it's pouring alright. I don't know if you can see that, but it's coming down. Well, hopefully somebody closed up my project for me. Alright, so this is the bathroom, obviously. The thing you have to remember about the toilet, first of all, the lid will stay open when you don't have this stuff in here. But there's you flush it right here. Let's see, if you look down there, that's the black tank down there, directly below. So I'm going to come around the side so you can see the lever I just pulled. Hopefully you can. There it is right there, the black lever. That's how you flush it. So one thing you want to know is you can't run this without chemical or without a little bit of water in it when you start off. So the first thing you do when you get here, or get to the campsite, I'm sorry, you'll plug in, you'll hook up your water, then you'll put your 1 dose of your chemical in there, right? And you'll pull on the lever and put about 1 gallon of water in there. You just hold the lever and it'll fill or pour water into the black tank below. Put about 1 gallon or so. There's no way to tell that exactly, just use common sense. You have to have chemical and some water to start off. If you don't, then you'll regret it. You will think about me because it'll be a mess. So you always want to have some water in there and chemical when you start using it. If you were to stay at the campsite for another week, let's say, after it was full, you'd dump the black tank and you're going to use the toilet again, so you'd come back in and repeat that procedure. You put some water and chemical in there, okay? Handset works like any other handset. Breaking this up and down obviously will be part of the other video. Your table, for traveling, you're going to pull those poles out. You're going to set the table on these cleats here and use the cushions to fill it in, and you can use it as a bed or you put it down for travel obviously too. That is your furnace, just so you know. This bed, this is a couch and a bed. The couch is a great feature in the 29 high wall because you can sit in a really comfortable place for one thing. You also can flip this around and it turns into a bed like that. You can also pull this up and see, let me do it back this way. I'm going to do this correctly here. There you go. So you can see the storage underneath that way. Okay. I'm going to bring it back around now. Okay, so that's the main difference between the 27 and the 29 high wall. Alright. So now this GFCI here, all the plugs in this trailer are wired through this GFCI, even the one on the outside. So if you're using a coffee pot or something that pops, you're going to reset it here. This is your carbon monoxide and LP gas detector right here. It should always be green like this. So it'll alert you if it senses a buildup of carbon monoxide or LP gas. I'll set it off here so you can hear it. It'll go through 2 self-tests, one for each one. It tells you which one is you doing. So testing for, I mean. Okay, and it goes back to green. Also, and if that goes off, obviously you take everybody outside, open the door, prop it open, shut the gas off at the front and figure out what's going on, alright? Don't ignore it. Now if it starts beeping like that but really, really slowly, it's telling you your battery's low, just so you know that it'll also do that. This device here is the power converter. what this does is converts 110 AC over to 12 volt DC. So what you have here is the AC side, when you got regular household type circuit breakers here, like you'd see at home, and they're labeled. Okay, then the power is converted over to 12 volt DC over here, which is the power a battery uses, for example. And there's regular fuses here. So if any of these fuses were to blow, they'll actually light up, and you could see it through this perforation, so you would know, right? Also, it's a battery tender, so it'll sense how much energy your battery needs up front. If it's really low, or batteries, if they're really low, it could send 10 amps up there to charge them up, or if they're almost totally charged, it'll trickle a couple. It just depends on after it senses the battery, what it needs to send it. So it'll handle all that. Also, to light your water heater is this switch right here. Never light the water heater without water in the tank. You always want to make sure you have water in the tank, okay? Also, you have to bypass your water heater. I mentioned this before, I think, but you have to bypass the water heater before you pump any antifreeze in the fall, or else you'll get a really foul taste and a bad smell in there. So keep in mind you have to educate yourself a bit about that, all right? All right, and somewhere around here also is a switch for your water pump was on the panel back there, that's all right. So you get it's fan-like combos. Actually, you're supposed to have 2 of these. I only see 1 in here. Maybe, I know we've got more on order. If we don't have another one, we will definitely send another one to you when it comes in, because we've been having all problems getting parts with the virus deal. So, but you do get 2 of these for sure, and then 1 of these, which is just a light. This is a fan-light combo, and the other one's just a light. These are for your thermostats for your heated mattress, or I should say mattress warmer. It doesn't actually heat the mattress, it just warms it. So you can see right there on this one, there's a port right there, hopefully you can see it. Both mattresses have them. You'll put this end here into the mattress, and then this end here will plug into the nearest 110 plug. And then you have a little analog thermostat here that you can set the temperature. Think warmer, not heater. It does not get hot. It just takes the chill out of them. Alright, so you have a hanging wardrobe. You could pull these out, for example, and hang something in there if you want. You also have a hanging pantry, okay, which is a good thing. Let me look around and see if I've forgotten anything. I think I've pretty much covered everything I need to. Now, because you're a trailer owner, you have to inspect your trailer on the outside. So when it's in the down position, you're going to look at all 4 corner caps on the outside, and you're going to check to make sure they're sealed up nice and tight. The roof vent on the outside, you'll check that out to make sure it's nice and tight. Where the vent stack for the bathroom goes through, you're always going to check that seal too. Then on the outside of the trailer also, you'll look at every place you see caulk from the manufacturer. You're going to inspect it, like corner areas, for example. You just go along it. You know, it's going to take a half hour out of your day. You do it like in the spring, do it in the fall, and once in the middle of the summer. But every place you see caulk or sealant from the manufacturer, you inspect and replace it if you see any cracking starting. You have to do that. All trailers have to be inspected and maintained, okay? All right, so we'll see you when you get here. And thanks for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. And remember what I told you about inspecting your seals and bypassing your water heater. Thank you.